organization is called Qqs Projects Society. Qqs is the Celtic word for eyes. It references our original mandate to open the eyes of our children to their responsibility as stewards of their land, culture, and resources. So we run a whole suite of different programs that are focused on that theme. Our oldest program is the Queer River Youth Camp, which is a cultural immersion camp. We also run family camps out on the land. We run the Qqs Sanctuary. We do a little bit of research and monitoring work, and we run the cafe and library and garden in Bella Bella. Most of our programs focus on kids 8 to 15 generally is the age group that we bring out to Quay Camp.
Okay.
We do multiple generations of the family out at the family camp, so anything from babies to elders, but most of our programs focus on elementary and early high school youth. We do 6 camps where we bring kids, and each camp is 6 days long. And then we have an additional camp at the beginning and the end just for our staff. All of the staff at our programs are Celtic students. So we do a leadership training the week prior to camp starting, and then we do a debriefing and cleanup camp after the programs wrap up. So one of the neat things about the camp program is that we try to have a holistic approach to each theme. So for example, if we have a camp that's focused on bears, we'll have cultural knowledge holders who are down there teaching the kids language and stories and ceremonies and songs and dances related to bears and teaching about Celtic laws related to bears. But we also bring scientists and researchers who bring a Western perspective and can teach about bear biology and bear behavior, so that kids walk away with like a really deep and holistic understanding of their environment that's informed by our culture, but also by the Western science and other tools that are available to them to help them understand the landscape. We have a wait list for every camp. Which is amazing, and the capacity for how many campers we can take really just depends on how many student summer positions we get funding for. We try to keep a good ratio of campers to staff so that the kids feel really supported and have, fairly one-on-one care. So if we have a staff of 10, then we'll bring 20 or 25 kids. If we only have a staff of 5, it's a much smaller camp.
Yeah.
So it does vary a little bit year to year, but the camps are always full. I think Indigenous education is learning that's really rooted in cultural values and principles and community goals. I think we take a really broad view of what education means. I mean, it's learning that happens anywhere. I think what's important to us in our programs is that we try to recreate traditional education models that aren't about sitting in a classroom and learning, but learning from the land, learning from each other, and learning by doing. I think it's really important for us as an organization and for the Celtic community at large, because I think we have really strong youth programming, to look at ways that we can support development of similar things in other communities.
Yeah.
I think we're really fortunate to be really far ahead in a lot of respects in terms of the kind of programming that we're able to offer. And my vision would be to see really strong community-rooted programs like this in every community that wants them, because I think Indigenous education, it flourishes when it's taken on by Indigenous communities, when it's not someone coming in from outside and saying, this is what you need to know and this is how you need to learn it, but when communities are defining that for themselves. Funding is always the difficult thing. I think human resource capacity is always challenging. We have a few really committed people who are doing the work of many.
Yeah.
And it can be challenging to find just the time in terms of staff time to be able to expand and share, and that's always really hard. But I think you have to take a long view in terms of succession planning and capacity building, and really take the time to identify the potential and the people coming up under you so that you can help to mentor them.